white man and the white woman, their problems, and America and the world. If you think about it, colonialization, white supremacy, the mentality of white people today, not just yesterday, today, right now, the denial racially, the silence, the apathy, the continuous gaslighting, all that fucking shit, that's ruined us. It's ruined white people, and it's
So I was watching and a couple of videos, and also the comments are like how that black people, we aren't like, they were talking about us or black Americans like they're not human beings, and like we're some kind of problem that they are tired of dealing with. You know that tone that someone will start like, I'm not racist, but, and then everything after that proves they are absolutely are racist, you know. They were saying something like black people don't deserve equality because they never get satisfied. That we get something and then we want more. Like equality is some kind of reward system instead of a basic human right. Like asking to be treated fairly is being greedy. And what really gets me is how comfortable they were saying it and commenting about it, like hyping each other up like they were speaking facts instead of recycled talking points they had their whole lives, you know. And it's just so crazy because I just stumbled on some random live and the conversation was so crazy and intense. I couldn't even watch it. I had to swipe up. So I came up with these videos about these white folks that were talking about black people. And these are folks that understand. And I feel like we should listen to them and see if you agree. You can leave it on the comment section. Disagree, leave it on the comment section. And yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe.
I'll never forget the day a white buddy of mine said black people don't deserve equality because they could never get enough. And that's true. White people are actually scared of equality. That's just how racist we are as a people. And it's not just that one person. White culture in general. Probably I would say most white people, when they hear the word equality, they fear that white people will be oppressed because brown, black, and indigenous people might actually get what's fair and just. That's just how racist we are. And we're so obsessed with the idea of not having equality in America for black, brown, and indigenous people that we don't have health care, that we don't have economic equality. We don't have reasonable gun laws. Our liberties are being stripped because we have a fascist, racist, white supremacist regime in office because we are so scared of equality. We're so scared that black and brown folks might become the majority one day. That we had a black president, and now we've got to have a white supremacist president. That's how scared we are of equality. That's how racist we are as a people. Go to the fucking root. The root of America's problems. The root of the white man and the white woman, their problems, and America and the world. If you think about it, colonialization, white supremacy, the mentality of white people today, not just yesterday, today, right now, the denial racially, the silence, the apathy, the continuous gaslighting, all that fucking shit, that's ruined us. It's ruined white people, and it's ruining our nation. And whose fault is it? White people's fault. Their inability to fucking fix their goddamn problem. Until we fix white supremacy, everything we try will fail. It's dysfunctional and it's toxic, and Trump and this regime is the perfect proof of all that shit. How we got in this fucking mess? White people's bullshit. White people's racist fucking bullshit. Period.
The black community has long suffered under the weight of systemic racism and discrimination. As white people, it is our responsibility to use our privilege to support and uplift the black community. Here are a few ways that we can be better allies. Listen and learn. We need to listen to Black voices and experiences without interrupting or dismissing them. We should educate ourselves on the history of systemic racism and the ways that it continues to impact the Black community today. We should seek out resources, books, and documentaries that help us understand the issues. Next, speak up. We should use our privilege to speak up against racism and discrimination. We should challenge racist comments and behaviors, even if it's uncomfortable. Silence that which perpetuates racism. We should support Black-owned businesses in our communities. We should advocate for policies that support economic justice and equity. Donate to Black-led organizations. Financially support Black-led organizations that are working to address systemic racism and inequality. It can be done through regular contributions or contributing to certain campaigns and initiatives. We should also use our platforms for good as white people. We have access to platforms and audiences that the Black community may not have. We should use our platforms to amplify Black voices and perspectives, raise awareness about issues affecting the Black community, and promote positive change. Be open to feedback and learning from our mistakes, as we will make mistakes along the way. But it's important to acknowledge them, apologize, and learn from them. We should be open to feedback and willing to change our behavior and perspectives as we continue to learn and grow. Being a better ally to the Black community requires a willingness to listen, learn, and take action. It requires us to use our privilege for good, support Black-owned businesses and communities, and speak up against racism and discrimination. It's up to all of us to work towards a more just and equitable society, and being a better ally is an important step. If you like the content and benefit from it, give me a follow.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. White supremacy has white people in a psychotic state, literally. Imagine a society, imagine a group of people who would take their children to a public lynching and allow them to sip on tea and have picnics and celebrate the murder of innocent brothers and sisters and encourage your children to take pleasure in it. This is the mentality of white people, their traditions, and their history. The people that colonized the world, the people that committed genocide around the world, the people that enslaved their fellow brothers and sisters for hundreds of years, and the same people who continue to oppress and denigrate their fellow brothers and sisters, and the same people who now cannot even acknowledge the truth racially and are so horrified of the truth and that history of what we've done to our fellow brothers and sisters, that we would criminalize that truth and outlaw that truth so that we cannot allow our children to learn the truth. That's psychosis, fuck people. That's a fucked up mind. That's a sick mind. That is literally psychosis. Where you are so ashamed of the truth and so scared of the truth that you would outlaw it. Give up your Constitution, give up your civil liberties, give up freedom in order to protect your sick and diseased system and culture of white supremacy. That's who we are as white people. Oh, not all white people. I didn't say all, motherfucker. I'm referring to the majority, because that's the fucking reality. So I'm on vacation. I'm staying at a family member's house. We're all watching the Olympics. I'm sick, by the way, but I'm on the couch trying to relax. These Trump-supporting family members are teary-eyed as they're singing the national anthem during the Olympics. You know, patriotic nationalist, and I'm getting a little uncomfortable, but it's okay. And then at the end, when they said liberty and justice for all, I said for white people, not for all white people, and that's all I said. And of course, that triggered the female, and she started lecturing me and going on and on and on, deflecting, denying, distorting, talking over me, just being a bully, being hateful. And then she said something that they usually say, some kind of crazy shit to justify white supremacy, because that's what white people do, right? She said, we're talking about racial equality and racial justice for black folks. She said, well, I don't think that they should get racial justice because they can never get enough. They'll always want too much. They'll always want more and more and more. I said, oh, really? That's interesting. So before we had this racial conversation, I had already called my friend who's black, and I asked him permission if I could call him if I needed him to let her know, or let this family people know, that a black person knows about their racism. You mind if I call you if I need to? He said, I'm all in. Call me. I don't care. Yeah, let's do it. So, and she said that racist shit. I called my black friend. And I put him on speakerphone, and I said, so, she just said that black people could never, ever, ever get enough racial equality, therefore they don't deserve it, because they always want too much. That woman, who I've known for many years, transformed into a Karen. She was triggered. It was, I swear to God, like a werewolf coming out. A grown woman literally had a complete insane breakdown. She started screaming uncontrollably, cussing me, this supposed Christian woman, in front of her children, and everybody in my family is saying the F word. Get the fuck out of my house! Screaming and jumping in a complete temper tantrum. So, so anyhow, she grabs my shit in this fit of rage as she cries victim. He's calling me a racist. I'm not going to be humiliated in front of black people. I'm not a racist. She grabs all my shit and just throws it in the fucking yard, scaring everybody in the house. I even thought she was going to assault me at one point. She didn't, thank God, because I'd have her arrested, but she did manage to kick me out of the house, throw all my shit out in the grass. So, I got a hotel. I lost another family member. But you know what? I'll just add it to the fucking list of family members, friends, and coworkers that I've lost. Would I do it again? Hell fucking yes. Because at least she knows it made her question her morality racially, and it made her question the lies that she's living. And it forced her to fucking think about something that she didn't want to fucking think about. And the reason she got triggered, because for the first time in her life, she could not hide her racism from black people. That's why she got triggered. She had to face her own goddamn immorality and the own lies that she's living. It may not change her. I don't know if it will or not. But it'll let her know that racism is unacceptable. And that's what we have to do, folks. Hold white people accountable for their fucking racism. Now, you might want to time it right so you don't get kicked out of somebody's house or get assaulted. But hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? But anyhow, hold each other accountable, folks. That's what we have to do. Take care.
We give them civil rights. We give them opportunities. What more do they want? And that's what gave, it just stuck with me. And those are some of the comments that I was reading on a certain video, because nobody gave black people anything. Black people fought, bled, died. And even then, the system only loosened its grip a little. Now, folks wanna try and act like that little bit or was supposed to be enough forever. Like they wanna call, they want to call it never enough, And it's really just black people refusing to accept crumbs anymore. What they call complaining is actually surviving in a system that keeps moving the finish line. And the wild part is, while they're talking about it like that, there were a couple of white guys in the group who weren't having it. You could see in these videos, their faces are uncomfortable, and they're like, okay, we need to speak about this. And one of them spoke up against it, and that doesn't make sense. Equality isn't something you earn. It's something you're supposed to already have. And it's so amazing seeing white folks that really understand and really know what they're talking about without like thinking they have an idea, but they don't. And you can tell these are people that have read a lot about Black history and know a lot about Black people, and not just jumping into conversations without having a clue. Because when you challenge people like that, they don't usually have a real response, just vibes, just feeling and just fear dressed up as logic. And people will just blab anything and they will just be talking nonsense. Sometimes you could listen to this conversation and you're like, okay, why am I even listening to this at this point? Because it's just getting you so mad, but you can't say anything or do anything. And someone also said, if equality feels like oppression to you, maybe you are benefiting from inequality. That hits hard because that's really what this is about. A lot of folks aren't mad that Black people are asking for too much. They are mad because they are being asked to give up comfort, to give up being centered, to give up the idea that the world was just built for them. And instead of sitting with that discomfort, they turn it into resentment. And the Black people, they will be like, the Black people are lazy, ungrateful, aggressive, never happy, because admitting the truth would mean admitting the system worked in their favor. And what I respected about these guys in this video is they spoke up. Like, they weren't trying to be heroes, they weren't doing it for applause. They just refused to let ignorance slide, like it was just a normal conversation. And that's what really allyship looks like. Not posting a Black square once a year, not saying I have Black friends, but speaking up when it's uncomfortable. That's it. And when it costs you social points, when it puts a target on your back in a room full of people who think the same way, because silence is still agreement. And honestly, the idea that Black people never get enough is insulting. When you see, when you look at facts, because Black communities are still dealing with underfunded schools, over policing, healthcare gaps, wage gaps, housing discrimination, and on top of that, we are told to be grateful. You should be grateful for surviving. So crazy. Like, you should be grateful for your struggles. Like, you should be grateful you're allowed in a room, but never allowed to rearrange the furnitures. Equality isn't extra, it's not a bonus level, it's not something you revoke after you're tired of hearing about racism. And the moment people stop talking about it, the moment people would stop talking about it, it won't be because racism ended. It will be because people got comfortable of ignoring it again. So yeah, when I hear white folks say Black people don't deserve don't deserve equality because we never get enough, what I hear really is we don't want to change. And the truth is, supporting Black people doesn't take anything away from anyone except unjust power. And that's what scares them the most. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to leave a comment about your thoughts, and I hope to see you in my next video.